Hello, everybody. Coaching with the Soul, Thursdays at 3. See who pops on here quickly. Got a full agenda today from Spirit, so we'll see what happens. See who pops on. Yep, see who pops on. Welcome to the people who will be watching this later, today, or tomorrow, or sometime soon. Hey, Annette, how's it going? You're the first one in the room. But there's lots to talk about today. Lots. It's nice and rainy outside today in Metro Detroit, so we are blessed with 75 degrees, whatever it is, and cloudy and misty and rainy. It's kind of nice after the 90s. Hey, Otis, how's it going? Yep, so today is a nice chill day with the rain. So, yep. Hey, Dennis. I'm very good. The last couple of days have been great. Yeah. Everything has been really good. Spirit and I have been having conversations. Hey, Catherine. How's it going? Yep. So, having some conversations about things, especially today. Yesterday was a pretty good day, too. Readings were interesting. Hey, Barb. I'm going to talk about that today. That's going to be the topic of today. Yes, Lee and I are good, Otis. Thank you. Yeah, yep. He's tired of working, but, he has to work every day, except for the weekend, so he hasn't gotten a break at all because he works at the, he's director of social work up in Fort Gratiot. So, yeah. So he didn't get a nice vacation with an extra $600 a month or $600 a week. Yeah. So, yeah. So today energy's pretty good. How's everybody else's energy doing? Everybody good? Or they've been feeling heavy? It's really interesting because normally clouds and rain bring energy down. Hi, Carol. But today it seems to because it's hey Allie. Spirit just said because right now it's nourishing the earth. Yeah, right, Otis. Get him a vacation, right? Hey, Tracy. He'd rather work, Otis. Yeah, that means they have to be out around me for the week, and he doesn't want to have to do that. It's a tough go for a week with me. So, hello, Tammy. How's it going? Hi, Michelle. How are you? Yeah, so good for you, Catherine. She got done early today. Awesome. Yep. I took most of the day off. Yep. I need to do this today, and I was having conversations with Spirit and things. So I just kind of made sure that I didn't have to, well, they kind of made sure too, that I didn't have to do anything except for chill and have conversations with Spirit. It's kind of cool. Hi, Adrian. How's it going? So, okay, so there's a few people in here, so that's awesome. Okay, so let me see what he wants to start with first. I know what did you want to talk about first that was easy? We just had a conversation 5 minutes ago about what we wanted to lead with. Of course, I forgot because I'm not really paying attention. Hi, Carrie Ann. Yeah, I don't know. Carol's feeling kind of beat up. Yeah, so everybody send her some healing energy. Okay. Yep. Send her some uplifting, cleansing energy. So, okay, I'm just going to go with what we're going to go right into it. So, okay, seems like people are leaving the yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so Spirit's been saying this, the challenge of change. Okay, the challenge of change, the challenge of change, the challenge of change. And we're going off from some readings I've had this week. Hi, Laura. You and I have to have a conversation, my dear. Yeah, we got to have a conversation about things. So I keep forgetting, you know. So the challenge of change, and I'm thinking about doing some postings and things with that tagline, the challenge of change, that I like to put on Facebook and things like that, or on YouTube. More and more people are running up against the energy of COVID and not knowing what to do. Hi, Vic. And I've had a couple of readings this week where people are so embedded in their ego, in their life, and things like that. And they don't know how to get out of it. Okay, I'll just give you an example. Okay, so I'm talking to a person, and I'm channeling spirit, and we're trying to get her to just open up and listen. And she has a bad marriage. She never loved the person. She has children. She's very weak. Hey, Veronica. She doesn't stand on her own. She doesn't believe, right? And I posted something today. You have to believe it to receive it. I put it on all my social media today because as I'm talking to Spirit this morning, and we're having this conversation about the challenge of change. Hi, Suzanne. The challenge of change, that, you really have to believe and not even understand all the time, Spirit says, but believe that what you want will happen if you do the things that the human has to do. Again, talking out loud, okay? I've had quite a few people this week who don't know how to express what they're feeling because they're afraid if they do, there's consequences. And usually that comes from childhood, right? Usually that comes from childhood. And unfortunately, I've had, hi Emily, I've had a lot of those clients this week. And I don't know if it's because Mercury retrograde ended and we're still kind of in the shadow. But for me, I always know when Mercury retrograde ends because everything just completely changes. Everything becomes bright again. So with other people, it can be, in fact, the woman that I'm talking about is a Cancer, and her Mercury retrograde was in Cancer. So it kind of makes sense, but it's all about challenging yourself, right? Because I often ask the person, who told you to contact me if you're not in the process of wanting confirmation? And that's happened again this week also. Well, so-and-so thought that I needed to talk to you. Well, okay. Hey, Leah. And when we start to get into a conversation, and I'm channeling, and Spirit is giving them information, and they stop by interrupting and say, so, can you tell me about, wait a minute. No, that's not how this works. Again, they're still in ego, right? They're still in I want to know answers, and I want to know answers, and I want to know answers. Well, okay, life just doesn't miraculously change, It's a challenge of change. It's the challenge of, are you up to the challenge? I always got from Spirit, well, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want that, Bill? Right? And me being the Capricorn, I'm like, hell, I want that really bad. Okay, then what you have to do is this. You have to do this. Oh, really? Can it just be easier than that? And he'd be like, no. You have to go through these steps to get what you want. Okay? So again, challenge of change, right? So we went on like this for quite a while, just up and down and up and down. And finally, Spirit just stopped. And she said back to me, she goes, why aren't you saying anything? I'm like, because he stopped. Well, why would he do that? Well, because you're not listening to what he's saying, you know. And Spirit's giving her scenarios and giving her all kinds of things that she can actually, oh, that makes sense to me. Oh, that makes sense to me. But no, none of that. It was a pure agenda, an ego agenda of, okay, this is my list of 5 things that I want to know about, and I want everything to happen like that, you know. And that's not the way that it works. Not that transformation doesn't work that way. If it did, every human being would be the highest possible ascendance, and we would all be blown in the wind and wonderfully happy, and life would be grand. No, it doesn't work like that. And most of the people that follow me know that. That's why my website's called Coaching for the Soul, because we have to do the work if we want to move from point A to point B to point C to point D. You know, that we're able, that we're actually going to be focused and paying attention and understanding that I feel like this for a reason. Even though you don't know what it is at the moment, the more you talk out loud and flow. I've had a lot of air signs this week and a lot of water signs this week. I have had one fire sign. I had one Leo this week, right? But no Capricorns, no Taurus, no Virgos, you know, none of the earth signs at all. It's all been air and water, and then one fire sign. Hi, Katie, right? So, and it's interesting because most water signs are not so resistant to the change, to resistant to hearing. But this person was so damaged emotionally that she didn't know how to respond to herself. Okay, and again, that's been kind of the message this week. Hey, Veronica, the message this week of resistance to the change. And again, that's what COVID's for. And I've talked about this, gosh, for months, right? That COVID is here to take the blinders off, completely destroy our routine, okay? And make us face our energy. Sorry guys, my allergies are kicking butt today. It is trying to get people to understand that they need to work at what they need to change, right? A little bit at a time. I mean, I've had a number of people this week and last week say, "So what's my 5-year plan look like?" I don't know what the 5. Well, what do you mean? Can't you tell me where I'm going to be in 5 years? I'm like, no, that's not what this is. Again, humans have free will, right? And we can mess up anything we can possibly mess up because lower egos involved with putting spin on everything, you know? Hi, Amy, right? And that's not the way it works. So some people say, well, what about my 10-year? It doesn't go 5-year, 10-year. It doesn't, again, you could be the same person in 5 years and you would blame who? Well, I tried. What if I tried? Isn't that enough? No. Again, how bad do you want it, right? So we had quite a few of those in 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think it was because of Mercury retrograde ending, right? Because the energy kind of stopped. It kind of was over with, but then there's a shadow to the end of the month, and every day the energy gets less and less. Okay, so it is when you are presented with change, what do? you know, and COVID's all about change. Our government is all about change. Life in general right now is about change. Finding out who we are and doing whatever we need to do to find out that information. And to understand that speaking out loud removes that energy from your body, and you give it up. Hey, Carson, you give it up to the universe, to your spirit guides and guardian angels. But what that does is it alleviates the pressure inside your body. Hi, Abby. It alleviates that, right? So adapt. Ellie says adapt, exactly. We have to understand there's so many people that don't talk out loud to themselves or to spirit at all, and they keep everything in their mind. Well, I've talked about this before. Lower ego will take that and use it against you as soon as it can with self-sabotage. It's its job. Its job. And there's so many people out there that don't know who they are, you know, and they're looking for guidance. And I would love, hey, Katerina, I would love to be on stage in front of like 500 people who don't know, you know, and just do like a 2-hour talk about what, as a collective, we need to do to raise our vibration, how to let things go, helping them to understand that it's a challenge. Life is challenging enough, right? Especially if you have a husband or a wife and kids and things like that. It can be challenging, right? But again, it's about you. And I've said this before. Hi, Gina. I've said this before, is that we have to be selfish, right? We have to be selfish to ourselves by giving us what we need, by giving us time if we can, right? We have to sneak in a certain amount of time. But the awesome thing is that because we learn from the people around us, right? We do. I mean, that's just the way that it is. That's why when I tell people that ego tapes everything that happens in your life from the day you're born to the day you're 13, 14 years old, and then once you mature, ego hits the play button. And so for the next 70 years, you have to overcome what your ego taped for the first 13. See? When you're 2, when you can't say, when you're still trying to figure out what the hell is Earth about? Why are these people screaming at each other? Why is the energy bad? Why? Hello, Michelle. See? So it can be difficult in understanding that what our ego taped, and if we let our ego go full swing, which we all do. I mean, I don't anymore, but I'll tell you what, I was the biggest negative talker on the planet. Oh, forever. Oh my gosh. I look back and go, oh, I cannot believe how much self-sabotage I did on myself and what I did to the inside of my body. Yeah. So Veronica asks, how to raise vibration in my opinion? Well, Spirit tells me that the way that you do that is by talking out loud to your spirit guides and guardian angels. Hi, Susan. Right? And that lifts your vibration automatically because you're connecting with your spirit guides, you're connecting with the universe, you're connecting. Okay? And also guided meditation by Steve Noble will raise your vibration and will get you to speak out loud to your guides. But I would rather you, and so with Spirit, start with talking out loud and thanking them for the good stuff, screaming at them, letting your frustration out if you're frustrated, if you're hurt. Many of the people this week have been hurt from childhood and things like that, and I showed them the technique of taking their 3 fingers, laying their palm on their chest or their breast, and tapping their sternum with those 3 fingers, and telling Spirit, I need you to take this energy away because I don't want it anymore. It's not mine. I need you to take it away. And then it goes away, and they go, well, that was really easy. Well, yeah. I didn't know that until probably 13, 14 months ago. If even then. Just came one day sitting in my meditation chair, having a conversation with Spirit, right? That's me. And Spirit always says, release, Bill, release. Everybody needs to release that energy inside of them. Why? So they can become lighter. Become lighter. When you lose the negative energy, the anger energy inside, um, it allows your human body not only to be lighter, but also to receive positive energy. Veronica says EFT. I have no idea what EFT is, my dear. Hi, Polly. Yeah, Spirit says something electric or something like that, electronic. And that doesn't, okay, chimes. That doesn't release the emotion and the negative energy inside. That can't take it away. He says it's about expressing. He likes the word regurgitate. You need to regurgitate that hurt. You need to regurgitate those feelings. You need to regurgitate. Yeah. Hi, Candace. See. So again, that will help you raise your vibration. But Steve Noble, tapping. She says, tapping on the chest. He said yes. That's how he gave me that exercise that you take your 3 fingers and tap, and you ask them to remove the energy from your chest, from your basically from your heart. Hey, Kimberly, I was thinking about you today. Yeah. So again, there are practices, there are exercises, there are all kinds of things that you can bring into your everyday life. Hi, Kathy. Right? That you can use on a daily basis if need to. It's about not allowing your temple. Hi, Michelle Panvino. Allowing your temple to be dirtied, become a sewer, just gunky and gross and nasty inside, right? And that's normally because ego is telling you not to let it go. It keeps feeding it to you, and outside energy, again, we're all empathic, right? We're all intuitive. And so the people who do not realize that they're picking up energy from other people, they don't know how to release it. See? So you carry that around, that hurt around, that anger, especially now with COVID and people screaming at each other about wearing a mask, and I'm a proponent of it because I posted something this week about the 1918 pandemic and how the government shut everything down. There wasn't that much. Again, we were a very primitive society then compared to now. And shut all gatherings down, all churches down, everything like that. And everybody was required to wear a mask. Okay? And if you look at Asian societies, when there is a pandemic or something like that, everybody puts their mask on. It's the one way to stop the virus from spreading. Right. So Katerina says, so true, Bill. It's an echo of, exactly, of in the soul. Right. See? So it's about letting it go. It's about allowing it to be let go. And that's where Steve Noble meditations come in. Because human can only do so much. We need divine intervention. And divine intervention is Steve Noble meditations. I'm telling you. I get nothing for promoting them, but I know what they do. I learned quickly, James, on exactly the tool I needed to use to raise my vibration, allow myself to ascend. And that was Steve Noble guided meditations. Okay? And that's been the last 13, 14 months. Well, now it's already July. So it's probably been 16 months. Okay? And I posted something the other day about I've been asking Spirit for a new everyday meditation. Boom, it shows up. I did it. It is fabulous. Fabulous. And then I got other conversations with other guides yesterday also. Which, kind of blows my mind, right? Guides that are in the Steve Noble meditations are speaking to me. That's amazing to me. That is amazing to me. Again, did I know I'd be this person? Oh, hell no. Hell no. It's about allowing. It's about having and taking what you're told I was told this by Spirit, right? I mean, I'm blessed with that. But I didn't have a teacher. He was my teacher. They were my teacher, I should say, because there's more than one, right? They have taught me everything that I know, or Spirit just says they've activated the DNA inside my body because they already knew, which is pretty freaking cool. That's every human being, guys. That's every human being. When you're in a Steve Noble meditation, they're able to activate DNA inside your body. That's there already. So you know. So you're more connected. So you're allowed to ascend easier. So you're allowed to let stuff go easier. Hello, Susan. You know, that's what it's all about. Is taking what your life has been and letting it go. Letting go of all the negative stuff you possibly can, right? If you marry for the wrong reasons and you have children, okay, how long are you going to stay in that no longer serves you? It's like anything. A job, husband, wife, family, right? Right? Because your soul chose that family for a reason. It chose your husband, it chose your wife, it chose your partner, all before you came to earth. For me, 60 years ago. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so was it easy for me to? Hi, Teresa. Was that easy for me to understand? I think I posted something this week too, because I post all the time about something about this stuff wasn't on my soul journey or something like that, and it's true. Sometimes in the past, well, I quit my job 6 years ago tomorrow. Okay. After 37 years. And I would say in the first 3 years, maybe even 4 years, be like, are you freaking kidding? Why? Why do I have to do that? Why is it so hard? I don't understand. Why it has to be so hard? Do you know who I am? Well, then that's all ego, right? I'm the Capricorn. I'm the one who's like 4,000 years old, and I need to be, okay. They're like, yeah. Just do what you're told, little boy. Little human, Spirit just said. Little human, just do what you're told. See? Yeah. So again, it's about allowing yourself to let go. Allowing yourself to let go. But that's a challenge because every human being on the planet is invested in dysfunction. Thank you, Candace. Right? Everybody's invested in that. I can even slide into that. Hi, Tracy. Yeah, I can even slide into that. Tracy's running for judge in Washtenaw County. So if anybody watching this, make sure that you vote for Tracy Vandenberg, please. Yep, she's a wonderful woman. Okay, if you live in Washtenaw County, make sure that you vote for her. Okay, I don't really normally do that, but you know what? He said promote Tracy. Okay, again, guys, doing what I'm told. See, understanding that before, I would say probably 2 years ago, I would question everything that he would say to me. And I remember people saying to me, Bill, why do you question him? You shouldn't question what he's telling you, because I need to know. I need to make sure that it's what he's telling me is right, that it's correct. Well, that's gone now. I ain't got time for all that aggravation, right? I don't have time. I don't have the energy. All I want to do is float. I just want to flow. I just want to flow and keep on moving forward and keep on ascending and keep doing what I love to do, which is teach, right? And showing people how to take adversity of their life and change it into something that's positive. Does it happen overnight? I think I said to one of the people this week, I'm like, it took you 52 years to get here. You're not going to do it by tomorrow. You're not going to do it in a year. It's a gradual process of how you turn your life around, how you allow yourself to flow. Because she was a Libra. You have to flow your air. You still can have some structure, but you still have to flow. If you don't flow, you're going to get stagnant. You're going to get, like the air last week before it got cooler outside. It smelled like the bayou of Louisiana. It was disgusting outside because it wasn't moving, right? Candace said spreading the love. Exactly. Helping people understand that the challenges that we face for change, they seem insurmountable. I would never use that word, but he is. Insurmountable, and they're not. That's ego keeping you in fear. Keeping you in fear, he says, and making you so fearful that you won't put one foot in front of the other. It's true. Been there, done that. I could be the poster child for that. Okay? Everybody's change is hard. Nobody just ascends and everything is glorious and wonderful and you're able to receive, you're able to ask, you're able to do all kinds of things. It doesn't work like that at all. You have to work at it just like you had to get where you're at now, right? So Tammy's an example of that. Her mentor was giving me information. She said I can't say that, but she did. I was getting a purple, and then it says see more, so I can't see anymore. Sorry, Tammy. But again, it's about understanding that it's gonna be a challenge. But if you take one step at a time, and the easiest step to take is talking out loud. And when you fall back into the behavior of talking in your head, you go, no, I'm not doing that. No. You catch it. And you catch it easier, and you catch it easier, and you catch it easier every day until you don't do it anymore. I mean, Spirit has said many times to people that I used to talk out loud all the time, which is true, when I was a kid. And people would ask me, well, why do you talk out loud? I'm like, well, because I get good answers. And they kind of laugh like, oh, okay, ha, ha, ha. Well, no, I did. I didn't know that they didn't have the voice in their head. I didn't know that they weren't clairvoyant. I didn't know everybody didn't have what I had. See? I'm like 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm talking out loud, right? So it's just I've always flowed like that. And then what happened is somebody's life in general squished me and made me small again because of who I was when I was younger. Oh, so Tammy says purple cat made sense. I was getting a lilac Persian. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Tammy says trust your information you're given. Exactly. See? But again, Tammy, if you're living an ego-based life, you're not going to believe anything anybody says. And again, then if you didn't voluntarily call somebody like me to have a conversation about how do I move to the next level, how do I change, how do I become in control of my life, you're doing what somebody else suggests that you do, which means you're not ready, right? And I suspect I'll hear from a few of them again. You know, once the universe and COVID intensifies the energy, you know, and that's going to happen. It's going to happen across the globe at times. Yep. You know, Candace says I was teased constantly for talking out loud. Me too. I now have learned to say back to those people, best conversation I ever had. Exactly. That's why I'd always say, well, I get really good answers. Like, ha, 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 he's funny, ha, 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 ha. You know, whatever. You're a freak, you're weird, whatever. You know, again, okay. Hurtful words like from kids. Again, little skinny gay boy, Jackson, Michigan, 60s and 70s. Not a good time. Not a good time at all. Really tiny. I was 4'4", going into the 8th grade. Yeah. So then my mother gave me growth hormone for 3 months, and in summertime I grew a foot in just about 4 months. Yeah, that was I can still remember that. I never ate so many damn bananas in my life because that's all they kind of did back in the day. So this would have been 1973. Yeah. So interesting, right? The things that your parents will do for you to make sure that you don't have a bad life. Because my mother knew who I was. Again, I was blessed. I picked the right mom. I picked the right dad. Right? And I knew that I did. Growing up, I realized that they were special people, but I didn't realize how special my mother and father were. See? Especially my mom. So my dad was good too. See? But again, Katrina says, it's a 24/7 job of self-love and alertness of the inner dialogue. Exactly. It's just like when you tell ego, I'm not listening to that because that's a lie. Ego, I'm not listening to that because that's a lie. You swipe your ear. See? I'm telling you. The more you do that, the more on top of it you are, the less chance ego has of gaining control of you again. Ego is a self-saboteur. It is not there to help you. It will always be there to stop you from moving forward. By fear. By fear. You know, and like I explained to people, and I do this often, and Spirit wants me to do it again, is that our top 3 instincts are no longer valid for us, especially for most of us in America. We don't have to find shelter. We don't have to find food. We don't have to find heat. So ego's at the top of the chain. Yes. See? So it believes that it saved your life over your soul's journey. And it's usually very, very much in control in people's minds. You know, whenever people would say growing up, well, you know, I had all of my conversations in my head. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I kind of did too. But mine were negative conversations, extremely negative conversations. Candace says ego is negative. Exactly. It's there to self-sabotage you so that you have to repeat this lifetime again next time. And because we are spiritual beings and we're going into the 4th dimension from the 3rd dimension that has been has been the wave that we have lived for tens of thousands of years, okay? That now we're being asked and pushed into another dimension, and we don't have a choice about doing it because the earth is changing. The earth is evolving, okay? All that was in the dark is now in the light. Hence why COVID is here to break people of their routine, break people of all kinds of different things, so that they go, oh, so they understand, try to understand, Spirit says, and realize that, oh, shoot, I've got to pay attention. I've got to pay attention. I've got to pay attention. Got to pay attention. See? Okay? And that's what it's for. And when we shut down again, because we will, again, more and more people will go, okay, this is twice in a year. Okay, I've got to start trying to find out WTF. Yeah. See? Amanda says when she's talking to herself, she tells people that I'm seeking expert advice. There you go. See? Because again, that's what it's about. But expelling that and letting that energy out. Yesterday was a great day. I mean, it was a great day. And everything seemed to fall into place. I got all green lights where I was going. I didn't have any resistance at all throughout the day. And it was just a constant, thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad, thank you, Spirit. Everything that, I mean, if I get all green lights someplace because I'm a Capricorn and I'm always in a hurry, that I am blessed. Chimes. It's like, thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad, thank you for all the green lights, that's awesome, right? If there's red lights, I've learned, okay, I'm not supposed to be there yet. Okay, I get it. And I let my frustration go, right? I'm never in a hurry to where I get anymore. It doesn't serve me at all. It doesn't serve any human to be like that. Road rage is crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Now, do I still hold some of that energy? Of course I do. I'm still a Capricorn. And, you know, but I've learned through exercise, right? I've learned through Spirit of them holding me down, basically, and saying, you need to blah, 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 blah. Oh my gosh, you can, all right, okay, I'll do that, fine. And then me not doing it, and then boom, hitting me again with it. Because that's what they do. They need your attention. They need you to pay attention. Again, there's been a couple people this week who again, the people who are interrupting my channel and what Spirit is telling them about, well, tell me about my 5-year plan instead. Wait a minute. That means that you are not paying attention to what you're paying for. Because somebody told you you needed to talk to me or somebody else. They're not ready to hear the information yet, right? And their guides truly know it because their guides always show up, and thinking that okay, because we're talking through this man, this human, that hey, Kimmers, that they're going to receive the information because they initiated the contact. Well, we'll see, right? We'll see when they want to talk again, if ever, See? So, and Jeanette says, I am always in the right place at the right time. And that's awesome. That is awesome. But that takes timing. That takes you allowing them to get you there at the right place at the right time. My dear friend Michelle says, how do you tell if your ego is giving you fear or if someone is really pulling energy from you? Hey, Pamela. Okay, Mishmash. Ego is self-saboteur, okay? It's always going to tell you that you can't. It's always going to tell you that you don't deserve. It's going to tell you you're not worth it. It's going to tell you, negative things, right? If somebody's really pulling energy from you, Spirit will tell you that. You can say, Spirit, okay, what is this? I don't understand the pull of energy. Is that person doing it? And you'll either get a flutter in your chest, or they'll grab your heart and they'll squeeze it a little bit for confirmation, right? You may hear something like yes. Okay? If you don't say, Spirit, I need you to help me with this because I don't understand, and then chimes. And then, Michelle, if you distance yourself from that person and you feel great, but then you are intuitive enough and aware enough to when you're with that person, you feel yucky, especially after or even during, it's that person. It's about being more aware of the energy that you allow into your space. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, let me know. But ego is there for the big stuff. Ego's there, again, it could be a really good friend and you're feeling that, and ego's telling you they're pulling energy from you. Any conversation in your head is ego. I'm telling you, it's ego. People will say to me, well, Bill, how do you know? Well, because Spirit's always been there. When my mom and dad are here and they talk in their tone. I can hear them, right? Ego is here in my head telling me stuff that's not true. And sometimes, like I told you guys a couple weeks ago, how I got wrapped up in something and Spirit had to come when I was in bed and say, Bill, I was like, yeah, why do you look for outside affirmations when inside what you're asking is true? I know. Again, guys, sometimes all of us, because we're still human, right? And I'm like that, especially if I'm tired, right? Because my resistance is down. I'm not thinking. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I just want to frickin' just let it all go. See? And that's why social media is not a good thing at night. And again, I don't do it anymore. At all. See? Because I'm interested as Bill in how these people do things. When they're reading cards or pulling cards for people and things like that, I'm interested in that. And I usually accidentally get involved in it because ego gets me to ask a question, which I don't need to ask, right? Right? So, Amanda says, I usually try to stick with yes or no questions, but if I don't get an answer, I wanted it harder to accept. Interesting. So Susan says, how do you turn off the mind chatter? Exactly like this, Susan. You say, ego, stop. Hey, Shannon, ego, stop. As you're doing this, Your right hand swiping against your right ear like there's a mosquito buzzing around your ear. The physical energy in your right hand and entering your receptor, which is your ear, which is connected to your soul. And you're talking directly at ego, telling ego, stop. All you're telling me is not true. You need to stop. I'm not listening to that because it's not true. It's not true. I'm not listening to that. And if you do that enough times and catch yourself enough times, mind chatter will stop. It will stop. Okay? You can also say, okay, Spirit, I need you to help me with this. If it is spiritual in nature and not ego in nature. Because many times, even when I started this as a career, hey, Santa, I had to make a firm stand against Spirit and say, okay, guys, stop. You cannot talk to me while I'm trying to sleep. I have to sleep. I'm still human. And they would go, oh. I say, oh, no. And then they try. No. And I would wake them and say, I told you no. You cannot bother me when I'm trying to sleep. And guess what happens? Because I'm the boss, they don't anymore. So again, it depends upon Susan, if the mind chatter is ego, or is telling you stuff, thinking about stuff, right? Ego, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. I'm shut. No, we're not listening to that ego. I'm done. The day's done, and it stops. Okay, but you got to do it enough times to get it to understand that you are in control of ego. Now, Spirit gave me that exercise probably a year ago. And again, sitting in a meditation chair, having a conversation with Spirit, and ego popped in, and all of a sudden out of my mouth came, and I started swiping my ear. Ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Oh, I'm not listening to that because what you're telling me is a lie. And when I got done, I told the story before, I'm still doing this, right? And then I go, what the hell? I said, Spirit, what's that about? He goes, well, now you got to teach it. I'm like, teach what? That's the way you control your ego, Bill. That's how you get the self-talk out of your head. That's how you get that self-saboteur out of your head that believes it has saved your life over many lifetimes. Made sense to me, because me being the Capricorn, I'm willing to do the hard work to get from point A to point B to point C. But then there's times where I can't, there's no work to do, I just have to allow. And that can be very, very hard sometimes. Okay? I'm better now because I just allow. It's not worth fighting against. Too much energy. Way too much energy. Again, I had a reminder post or something from 2016 that came up on my Bill Hobart Facebook page today. And it said something to the effect of, I left my job 2 years ago, blah, 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 and I never thought my life could be, blah, 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 blah. This is 2016. And I laughed at that, and I went, you have no idea 4 years ago how many trials and tribulations you were going to go through for the next 4 years. Until here I am today. See? It's remarkable because you have to allow. You got, again, the more that you talk out loud, I'm telling you, the more that you release that energy that is inside of you, the more that you release and ask questions. Spirit, you need to help me with this. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. You need to help me with this, Spirit. I need you to help me. And there was a few MFs in there because I talk like a sailor sometimes. And that's the way that I feel. I feel like frustrated and angry. And what the, blah, 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 blah. I need to let it out of my body. I need to let it go. I need to let it out. See? Because it doesn't serve me to be inside. Why? Because I'm going to snap on somebody, and it's usually Lee, and that doesn't go over very well. This was probably 3 years ago. We've been together 4, maybe 2 years ago. Been together like 4.5. And I said something to him, and he looked at me and he yelled, I didn't do anything. Well, I kind of went, I know, but... Well, that was the last time I did that. Because he's bigger than me. And the look on his face was like, what the hell is wrong with you? I didn't do anything. Why are you yelling at me? I was frustrated. Again, 2 years ago, I hadn't... Let it go. Hey, Jeffrey, it doesn't serve me. It doesn't, the frustration is there, doesn't serve me. I won't do that anymore. Won't think like that anymore. And you know what? It is what it is. How do I fix it? Spirit, I need you to help me with that, right? And I apologized to him and said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, again, and I've apologized throughout my life for that. Ask Michelle Panvino. You know, when I get frustrated, and I used to scream at people, oh, I was so, whew. And I'm blessed that those people still consider me to be a friend and many a mentor. And I appreciate that, you know, because they're in my life for a reason. And I was in their life for a reason at the time. So as we transform, as we challenge ourselves against the challenge of change, right? It's about being conscious as possible and understanding that it's not going to be an easy ride. It's not going to be free and breezy. It's not. But when you get to that point of it being pretty freaking good, you're like, wow, I don't know how I got here. I've said that. This is amazing. How did I get here? Well, if you think, Bill, about all this stuff, I don't even think about that. See? Because, again, we don't remember the bad stuff usually as adults. As children, our ego tapes it, uses it against us. See? Love you too, Michelle. Right? So, again, it's all about being grown up, calming our little kid inside who's always in charge of our lives, good or bad growing up, right? And crying out for help and a spirit gave me something yesterday for somebody, not yesterday, but on Monday, saying that the young man I was talking to did not get enough attention from his mother and father when he was crying as a child. They let him cry. Wrong answer. Wrong answer, everybody. Do not let your child sit there and cry. That means they're going to snuff out their emotions and not allow themselves to cry, to let the emotion out that they're feeling. Hello? Didn't know that, right? Oh, I don't want them to get attached to me. They need to get attached to you so that they know that they're safe, so that they know that you are going to protect them, that you're going to make them feel okay. You can wean them later, right? You can wean them over time. And we are the example for our children. We're the example for our nieces and nephews. We're an example for the universe, for our friends, things like that. See? And if they don't click with us after that, because their energy is weird, or they think that we're weird, see you later, bye, thanks. You know, again, it's about me. It's about me not allowing that energy into my circle. Not allowed. It's too hard. It's too much work, right? We got enough going on in our freaking lives without having negative energy around us, be it husbands, be it wives, be it friends, be it mothers, be it fathers, be it family, whatever, right? You have to have your sanctuary. And sometimes that means making big decisions. And trusting the universe will help you as you make those decisions to change your life. Could be divorcing a spouse, right? Could be all kinds of different things. Changing jobs, selling the house you live in and buying a different one. You know, but believing, like I said, if you don't you have to believe it to receive it. You have to. Because if you don't believe it, guess what? When you get it, you'll be like, is that it? Is that all? Are you kidding me? I need more. No, that's what you get for now. Piecemeal. Again, I totally get that in my life. Totally get that. I totally get it. You know, did it take me a while to understand that? Oh, yeah. When it comes to money, when it comes to love, when it comes to family and friends and things like that, it's, again, but understanding that when your child cries, it's for a reason. Now, is there a limit to giving the child everything that they want and things like that? Well, yeah, that's not it. Emotional support and love is different, right? Than giving things, giving them what they want. giving them, you know. And when your children speak up as teenagers or as children and say, no, you're ruining my life because you're changing. You're ruining my life. Okay, well, who's in charge and who's the child? You're doing what you need to do is going to positively affect everybody in your life. Spouse, children, mother, father, family, friends, everything. And if it doesn't, then guess what? So yeah, that's what it's about, right? Because again, our soul journey is to transform. Our soul journey, that's a freaking great message. Our life's journey is to ascend. Our life's journey is to learn so that when the time comes for us to raise our vibration to the point of understanding without speaking, understanding without asking, that's when you go, WTF. Are you freaking kidding me right now? I just got this. I just got that. I just received this physically. This is so freaking cool. And that's going to happen with everybody on the planet if they allow it to happen. They allow it to happen. See? And our ego stops us from believing. Our ego is so entrenched in who we are, usually from our childhood. Okay? Again, it could be from past lives. Who knows? I don't certainly know. You know. But it's about here and now. It's about understanding that as we move forward, as we ascend, as we do our work, talking out loud is not that hard. It's not. It's not that hard. Okay? And again, the example of talking out loud can be for your children. It can be for your sisters and brothers. It can be for your family. Be whatever. Again, I'm the chatty Cathy in my family. Didn't make it for an easy childhood. You know, doesn't make for an easy partnership with Clee because he's not chatty Cathy at all. That's why I have Bailey, right? I talk to Bailey all day long. He's got to go potty. He wants some food, whatever. I'm that person who's always there. Hello, Laura. You know, because I'm his daddy. Again, he's changed so much in the 4 years he's lived with us, with me. He was Lee's before. But since he's been with me, he's a totally different dog. Okay? Because he knows that daddy's going to take care of him. That he feels secure. He feels loved. Because I'm very affectionate with him. Right? That he's old. He's 15 years old. And he's an old man. He deserves to have a treat every once in a while. And he deserves to be loved and kissed and hugged and things like that. Right? But he also listens to daddy. Hey, Cathy. Right? And he was not like that when he came here to live with Lee. Not at all. He was an individual dog that did not have a pack. Well, guess what? Now he does. And his alpha's me. And I'm always going to take care of him and protect him. In his old age. Always, right? So it's just like children. Right? They need to have rules and regulations. They need to have boundaries. If they don't, you're not teaching them how to live in our society. Okay? Cathy says, we were told to shut up all the time when we were kids. Exactly. Thank you, Cathy. See, we were told to go outside. My mother would shoo us outside. You kids, get outside. It could be 20 below zero outside. And my mother would say, get your things on and get outside. Our house wasn't that small, but it wasn't that big either. But the energy that she put out was not positive energy from my mom. Lovely woman, right? And a heart of gold. But the negative, angry energy that she carried all the time is what we grew up with. And, you know, and I just got this message probably in the last couple of weeks of why. And that is because my mom and dad had 2 children, 2 boys, and then thought their life, hey Deanna, and they thought their life was golden, right? Got 2 kids, got a new house in Jackson. My dad's doing great at Consumers Energy. Mom's at home taking care of the 2 boys. And 5 years later, guess who shows up? And 14 months later, guess who showed up after me? My sister Martha. Through my mother's plan, completely out the window. She was angry, upset that she wasn't going to have the life that she believed she was going to have. My dad also, right? When you have two kids, and you got a new house in Jackson, this is like 1955, guys, 1956. And my dad's doing great, and the money's flowing, and they're planning on the future, and blah blah blah, and everything is golden, blah blah blah. And then guess what? Billy's coming, and then 14 months later, Martha's coming. Yeah. See, and I will guarantee you, my mother, had she known my sister and I were coming, would have had my father fixed well after my brother was born. Yep, I can guarantee you that. And her life would have been what it was supposed to be. But because of the universe, because of her soul journey, because of who she was this lifetime, didn't happen, right? She died at 59 years old. I was 28. My sister was 26. My older brothers knew her much longer, right? But now I understand why she was the way that she was, and also the way she was raised. But how the energy in my house was this thing that I thought I needed to try and balance, being the Capricorn. Being a pleaser. Making sure everything was in line and perfect so that nobody screamed. So nobody was upset. It still happened. But I did everything I possibly could in my little human body to make everything better. And now this, right? Now this. So again, changes. And I fought the change most of my life, right? I thought I had to survive. And I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have something or someone to say, Bill, you need to do it this way. You need to do it that way. I had spirit. It was very frustrating. But because I'm that Capricorn leader, been around for 4,000 years or more, right? I thought and still do believe I know. Well, now what I know is different than what I knew 3 years ago. Totally different library that I carry, right? Right? So, yeah. So it's 4:02. I got to go, guys. Thank you for doing Coaching with the Soul for me again. Thursdays at 3. Man, he still wants to talk, but I've got to go. I'm still running specials, you guys. It's on BillHobart.com. If you like what I do, share this video when I post it, please. When I post my postings, or when I post, I've got open appointments all week, or I've got or I post my specials. Please share them for me. Okay, there's a few people that have, and I've gotten clients off of that I've never spoken to before, which is awesome. That makes me feel you guys appreciate what I do by sharing my posts of that I'm writing specials and things like that. And I do that for other people who do what I do, right? Because we all have our certain niche in what we do, and also if they're supposed to talk to us, they will. Right? So please, when I post that I've got open appointments all week, or I'm running a special, blah, 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 please repost those for me. And also, Coaching with the Soul, bring more people in so I can help more people at one time. Okay? So, namaste. Thank you, everybody. And I'll be back next Thursday at 3 for Coaching for the Soul.